Let me ask you about another line from his speech. Donald Trump said every country has the right to pursue their national interests. What do you think about that?
With caveats. Russia's national interest under Putin is to reconstruct the Russian Empire, to gobble up territories formerly under the Russian control. The Ayatollah's national interest is to radicalize the Shia populations in the Mideast and undermine Sunni Arab states. The leader of North Korea's national interest is to build an ICBM that can hit our homeland to make sure that his regime never falls by, holding us hostage. I think China's national interest is to take land owned by others by force. So to the president, Putin's national interests destabilize Europe. The Ayatollah's national interest will lead us into a war between the Sunnis and Shias like you've never seen. So there's a caveat to that. And to the president, if America First is a throwback to the 20s and 30s isolationism when it was first used as a phrase, the world would deteriorate even quicker. If it is a new way of Ronald Reagan, peace through strength, I'd like to work with you. I don't know what America First means.
He also talked about cutting foreign aid.
Yeah. Here's what I would tell him. Talk to General Mattis. General Mattis was
Defense.
Yes. He was a four-star general, and here's what he said to an event I attended. If you cut the State Department's budget, then you need to buy me more bullets. This was a four-star Marine Corps general. You want to destroy radical Islam, Mr. President, you will never do it by taking soft power off the table. You cannot kill enough terrorists, you cannot not drop enough bombs. Our goal as Americans is to provide security by partnering with people in the region, but building a small schoolhouse for a poor young girl in Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq will do more damage to radical Islam than any bomb you could drop. So please don't take soft power off the table.
Does Secretary of State Tillerson understand what the point you just made, and will you vote for him?
This is why I am voting for him. In my office visit, he said that when America doesn't lead, other people will, and the vacuum is always filled by bad actors. He said that we have to have a foreign policy that engages the world. We need to lead from the front. The foreign aid budget is 1% of the total federal spending. You could wipe it all out, not move the debt needle. Most of our foreign aid to a single country goes to Israel. I'm begging this president to understand that if we don't help others over there, we're always going to be endangered here. The Marshall Plan worked after World War II.
I called him Secretary of State Tillerson. Of course, he's not yet. That's why you're voting for him, and that's why that's news. Let me ask you about the Russia sanctions that you would like to impose. Where is that, and do you think it will get out of the Congress to the president?
I think there will vote tomorrow on additional sanctions against Russia. It would get over 75 votes in the Senate. 75
votes in the Senate, and that, of course, is to punish Russia for meddling in the election.
I think there's bipartisan belief that the Russians interfered in our election. I don't believe they changed the outcome, that Putin's trying to break the back of democracies all over the world. My hope is that his team, his national security team, which I like a lot, President Trump's team, will convince him that if you forgive Putin and forget about what he did, that screams weakness to Putin. Beware of the teddy bear, President Trump. Putin will change his tone, he'll be cajoling, but he still has the same interest at heart. If we don't punish Russia for what they did in our election, then Iran and China could come into the next election. People are watching us. Don't be weak when it comes to Russia. It didn't work on Obama's watch, and it won't work on your watch.
And your point is weakness not only sends a signal of weakness to Putin, but everyone else. How many Republican senators do you think will vote for the sanctions that Donald Trump does not want?
I hope most of them will, because I think all of them believe that Russia interfered in our elections. And the Baltic states, Georgia and the Ukraine, who live in the shadow of Russian expansionism and threats and domination, we need to send a signal to these countries that we're going to stand up to Russia. So this idea of forgiving existing sanctions is an invitation to more aggression by Russia.
Do you think he'll veto the bill that you're going to put
This will be the biggest conflict potentially between the Congress and the president. Another conflict is going to be infrastructure. I'm for more infrastructure spending, so is Bernie. But I'm a conservative Republican. It must be paid for. There'll be some Republicans that say it's not the role of the federal government to rebuild the inner cities. I'm willing to rebuild rural America and the inner cities. I just want it paid for. So President Trump's got to get his party in the game, and the way to do it is pay for any infrastructure increases.
And 10 seconds, defense spending too, a conflict there maybe.
I will build up the military because we're in danger, but I will not do it at the expense of the CIA, the FBI, and the State Department's budget. If you take soft power off the table, then you have two options left. left. Use military power exclusively or retreat. I cannot stress to you how important it is that we have more tools in the toolbox than just military power and retreat.